Hey, what's up guys, Roof here. So I'm still traveling, so no VTuber model for today, but nevertheless, the show goes on. So let's get some more updates regarding the Ethan Klein copyright infringement lawsuits, because this is the content gift that keeps on giving, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the three recipients of this set of lawsuits is, of course, Denims, Frogan, and Kaceytron. Kaceytron, the people's pothead, is really emerging as the superstar of this situation. She is providing some really great quality content over the past couple of days, if not weeks. She has really dug herself in a measurable hole. And recently, the other day, we talked about an update video she made. It's the usual stuff, right? It's like 8 minutes of her playing the victim, avoiding accountability, trying to do some emotional blackmail. You know, the usual stuff you expect. Now, I'm going to play this quick clip from Dan Saltman that pretty much sums up that entire video. It's a before and after type thing, then versus now. Her initial reaction to the lawsuit versus her reaction now.
Ethan Klein, blast you to fucking hell. No, like, what the fuck? Oh, this no good motherfucker and his ugly ass wife. Fucking cunt. God.
So, first of all, my intention of this statement is not to blame Ethan Klein or accuse him of malicious conduct, so please refrain from making any hateful posts about him. If he believes he has a copyright claim, he is entitled to pursue it. My intention is to shed some light on the financial strain this is causing me and my family, and also why I made a settlement offer to Ethan.
Well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Yeah, her strategy of mocking Ethan, his wife, his family, and the lawsuits generally didn't really help her case when she tried to make a measly settlement offer of $17,000 when Ethan is seeking $150,000, and now she's finding out, and absolutely nobody who's looking at the situation objectively feels sorry for her whatsoever. It turns out that trying to play the victim while being clearly in the wrong and calling yourself an innocent white woman being attacked by Ethan, it's just not enough to fix the mess she has created for herself. In fact, she recently upped the fundraiser goal of her GoFundMe from $100,000 to $250,000. And yeah, she is light years away despite the pathetic efforts of people like this who are very misguided and finding new and exciting ways to waste their money by giving to this GoFundMe, including people on monthly payment plans. That is crazy work, ladies and gentlemen. But that's where we left things off the other day when we talked about that set of updates regarding the lawsuits. And she has recently streamed since then a true copium session where she's sitting in front of this meme format with the flames and the guy sitting in the chair saying, "This is fine." I mean, this is like unironic. Like, everything is burning around you. Like, this is really, really bad. And she spent this stream whining about the incels and how it's this giant conspiracy and this horde of incels who are attacking her, whether it's XQC or Asmongold or Ethan's fan base. They're all just in on this gigantic effort to, well, I guess, make her accountable for her own actions.
I've been on this platform for 10 plus years speaking out against misogyny in the space, and that's why I have the ire of so many incels, as you have seen. And to be clear to the incels, no, I'm not saying Ethan Klein is an incel. I've never made that claim about Ethan. But Asmongold and XQC are a different story.
First of all, let's make this clear. She is not fighting misogyny. Her idea of fighting misogyny is essentially going on Twitter and calling people incels every 5 minutes for eternity. That is not really fighting the incels as she thinks. This is her only tactic. Oh, I'm in trouble for something. Oh, I messed up. Incels. The incels did this. It's really pathetic. And she talks about all these people being incels or the leaders of incels. Like, I'm glad you clarified that Ethan Klein is not an incel, despite the fact that you routinely say he's a leader of incels. He has an incel community, whatever that looks like, a hive mind of incels all banding together to attack poor, innocent white women like Kaceytron. But in terms of Asmongold, like, I don't know, man. We don't know for sure, but he's had girlfriends over the years, so calling him an incel, an involuntary celibate, is probably a stretch. And then XQC, I mean, he's had a lot of serious relationships, so again, I think that's a bit of a stretch to say the least, but she would continue on with the next part of her cope session, where she talks about the incel rage.
Like, I'm just telling you, all of this incel rage and ire towards me comes from the fact that at one point in time, I called these men out for their misogyny, or I called their friends out for their misogyny. And the misogyny ranges from basically like sexual harassment to straight up like rape and abuse. Like, the reason why Asmongold keeps on saying that I've lied on people, he's talking about Kaceytron and Rich Campbell. Yeah. So yeah, if you're wondering why I have so much of the ire of the incel crowd, that is why.
Oh boy, this is a really interesting one right here. So she talks about this like wide range of incel backlash. Like, I don't know if you got proof of any of that. Is she talking about herself in the backlash she's getting? That's a pretty random and crazy set of allegations she's making against the incels, which, by the way, includes everyone who's ever criticized her ever, including women, by the way. But anyway, she goes on to this whole like series about the type of people that Asmongold and others are defending or surrounding themselves with, and she brings up Kaceytron, and of course, she's referring to the allegations he has faced, which, of course, is just allegations. They happened about a year ago from an ex. She claimed he abused her, and she provided no evidence to back up any of these claims. Since then, there's been no police reports. There's been no lawsuits filed. It's been it. It was just her word. And you believe her or you don't believe her. And in Caseytron's mind, as she's acting like, oh, it's just, you're hanging out with this sus person. I mean, she literally, in this tweet right here, just one of the ones I found, she literally said, he R-worded a woman. Like, just straight up. This is what we call slander, ladies and gentlemen. If there's ever evidence to prove anything he's done, of course he's going to face the consequences, and people like me would call him out. But right now, there's nothing. There's just someone making an allegation, and Kaceytron jumped on board. She also mentions Rich Campbell. For those who don't know, a guy who lost millions as a result of allegations from a former friend, I guess that's how they describe the relationship, who claimed he assaulted her. And of course, Kaceytron at the time, back in 2022, not only jumped on the bandwagon trying to cancel him and deplatform him from everywhere, she came out with a statement claiming there were several other victims. Of course, she provided no proof and no names of these people making the allegations, but she she claimed he is a serial abuser. Now, since then, we covered this about a month ago, the person making the allegations and who filed a lawsuit against Rich Campbell for assault, she has dismissed her lawsuit and basically apologized to Rich Campbell and said she wishes him the best in future endeavors. It sounds like the whole thing has been completely dismantled. This guy lost millions, lost every opportunity, lost friends. And of course, there's no update to this. There's no apology from Kaceytron. There's no articles updating this who are proud to share the allegations. He's finally back streaming. Like, it seems like he's getting his life back. His friends are coming back to him. But yeah, she was one of the main players in that, and it's just crazy to see her so flippant about it. But let's continue on to the next clip here, where she talks about the slop tubers.
There's like a whole sector of incel drama slop tubers that have made videos on me. And a lot of these videos will have thousands of viewers. And then if you like look at the quality of the video is like actually really dog shit low quality, which I think really like speaks to the bot farming and the botnet. I don't know. Like, you cannot convince me that some of these incels are as popular as what their numbers show. Like, I'm not saying they don't have any popularity, but I'm like, something's off here. Something's off. Something doesn't seem right.
Okay, so as always, anytime someone's using the term slop tuber, you're probably dealing with a slop tuber. Okay, if we're all being in the slop here, let's just be real of who we are. She is talking about low quality content. I mean, she's literally just sitting in front of the screen blabbing about stuff. I mean, most of her streams are watch along parties or karaoke. It's stuff that involves other people's copyrights She's basically just dangling shiny keys in front of her audience, and hey, you know what? She can do whatever she wants, but she acts like she's some epitome of quality content. So it's funny that these slop tubers get under her skin so much and they're so beneath her. And then it also blows her mind that people don't like her. I know, there's a reason why people click on videos about Kaceytron. It's because a lot of people don't like her. Outside of her orbit, outside of her echo chamber, people don't like what they see. And the further you dig on this woman, the crazier and crazier it gets. I mean, we're not even scratching the surface. There's a lot more to her background, but I'm just focusing on the stuff involving her recent claims, especially those involved with the lawsuit. But she also accuses the slop tubers of bot farming. Now that is copium on a level we haven't seen in quite some time. But let's finish with one more clip where she starts playing the victim on a just incredible level.
Like whenever I'm not working, it gives me anxiety. And yes, this is literally me working. I don't know what to tell you, incels, if you're watching me, but yes, this is literally my job. I like do taxes on this. Like, that's the other thing that gets me is the way like all of these people are acting like I'm going to have to quit streaming and get a real job working at McDonald's. Like, girl, you realize I make more money streaming than what I would working at McDonald's. Like, what is this logic, you fucking dumb incel? But anyway, I will be streaming. I'm not going anywhere. I know like Asmongold and XQC think that for some reason this is going to like be the end of me. I don't know if they think that I'm going to quit streaming or if they think that they're going to finally bully me enough into or whatever. I don't know what they think, but I'm going to be here for a while.
So basically now she's saying that everyone wants me to go work at McDonald's and that she wouldn't make as much money at McDonald's. Well, first of all, shot at McDonald's, but yeah, eventually this could be the result of a lot of people like Kaceytron. Welcome home, as they say. But basically, she's trying to say that all these malicious actors, all these people like Asmongold and XQC and Ethan and the slop tubers and the incels, they all want her to quit. She even implies many times that they want her to end her life and all these things. It's not true. I can speak for myself, and probably most of those people just mentioned. Nobody wants you to take your life. No one wants anything just beyond reasonable like that. In fact, people like myself, I don't want you to quit streaming. In fact, I want you to do more. I want you to up your game and create more content because you are a content mill for so many people. Think about that. You know, that is really the gift of Kaceytron. She's actually kind of like a humanitarian, if you will. She's a giver because she provides so many people with free content. It's actually kind of impressive. But of course, the crying wouldn't end there. She would return to Twitter and just start losing her mind. So there was this reply from Asmongold where basically he was arguing with someone basically saying, you know, what's the big deal? We all do copyright stuff. And he's like, this is the reason why I hope Ethan sues and wins, because you guys will not let her take accountability. You're gaslighting people, yada, yada, yada. And then this person, Holly Cannabis, who is Kaceytron's sister, of course her last name or name on here is Cannabis, but she writes a long plea to Zach Asmongold, saying how Kaceytron sacrificed her 20s to take care of her family and their childhood homes got foreclosed on. They spent 10 years living with housing instability and their mom is deaf and blah, 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 blah. And then even talks about how Asmon grew up in poverty and you should know what you're doing to Kaceytron. Yeah, we're not buying the emotional blackmail. There's nothing here that tells us that she's innocent from copyright infringement. This whole thing is a farce. It's a joke. There's no accountability. It's just emotional blackmail. Here's bad things that happen in my life. Now feel bad for me and let my sister get away with anything. No, it's not how it works. And this has been a long time coming. Of course, Asmongold is going to say things about Kaceytron. She's been saying things about him for years. We all know the meme. Search Asmongold, keyword search Asmongold on her Twitter account. There's hundreds of results. She even implied heavily that he killed his own mother. And you think he's not going to push for proper punishment in this situation? You're going to try to emotionally blackmail him into, I don't know what, laying off the gas? I think you should be more worried about the lawsuit. And of course, Again, her name is Cannabis, but also she has in her bio, repossess the wealth. Well, I actually think that's going to happen. In fact, I think Ethan's going to repossess all of that money in the GoFundMe because this lawsuit is not going in Kaceytron's favor, and she knows that. That's why she made such a pathetic settlement offer. But it continues on, where Asmongold ratios her and says, who asked? I don't care. If the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't either. Emotional blackmail is to avoid accountability, manipulative and predictable. It won't save you. If she was supporting all these people, why would she blatantly break the law and put them at risk, referring to her family? Yeah, why are you dragging family into this? And if you cared so much about them, why are you putting them in this financial state? If they're so dependent on you, why are you making video or streams that are copyright infringement and putting them at risk? And she says, you react to videos all day. No, you can react, but you can't commit copyright infringement and act as a market replacement for someone else's video and then take more time doing bong rips than actually reacting. And this person says emotional blackmail 101 in the big 2025. And she says, who am I blackmailing and how? Like, you're being obtuse. You know what you're doing. You're pulling at people's heartstrings to try to get sympathy. And yeah, it continues on. She says, with a quote of her sister saying, my sister made a post, is being attacked by incels, exclaiming, my family deserves to have their home taken. It's not about what your family's going to suffer. It's about you. And if you're going to hold yourself up as the person keeping this all working, that's on you. The consequences will fall from your own actions. And if that trickles down to people you're taking care of, that's your fault. That's your fault. No one's wishing that on your family. They want you to be accountable. And you're the one saying, if I'm held accountable, it's going to trickle down to others. Well, that's your problem. You shouldn't have done it. And that's what people are pointing out here. It's not the incels. It's you. It's you, Kaceytron. You're the one doing this. And then she made this tweet saying, I don't know, at least when Asmongold is harassing me, it directs the bot farms into my comment section instead of memeing trans teenagers game ending and spreading. What are we talking about? And I like this comment. Savvy left one basically saying, get a job. You know, you're smoking too much weed. And she says, girl, you are so obsessed with me. Comes from the person who's obsessed with so many people, it's actually kind of shocking. And then I added in my comment saying, you sound like an incel. And I ratioed her. And that's only important because she believes ratios equal the truth. So I guess she's an incel. But yeah, that's really the update on the situation. Funny stuff. Next time there's a big update, you'll hear about it from me. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.